Sleeper caches are challenging puzzles with weird rules and things to do and things to definitely not do, so sometimes it can be hard to figure out what you need to do to pull amazing ISK from these sites. Many explorers skip these sites. Many miss out on the loot inside. Hundreds of millions of ISK. But by the end of this video, you'll have a step-by-step guide on how to take on the standard sleeper cache and walk away with your ship intact. EVE Online is too big to explore alone. Let's explore it together. Welcome back everyone, I'm Lynn Rankin. I've spent a long time in New Eden, and I'm here to share with you what I've learned and continue to learn in this amazing game we call EVE. Today, we're going to be continuing our exploration series talking about how to make millions, if not billions of ISK and loot. We've covered the basics, we've covered ghost sites, and the limited sleeper cache. Now, we're going to go on to the middle child, and actually, probably one of the more complex sleeper caches, the standard sleeper cache. This is my Buzzard fit. You can pause the screen to read it or use the link in the description to use the fit. It's good for most of the superior sleeper caches as well, so bonus. Now let's get into it. To start, it's a level 4 exploration site. This is not indicative of the site difficulty itself, just how difficult it is to scan down. You will need a scan strength of 92 on your probes at minimum, so decent skills for scanning, hacking, and your exploration ship are needed. If you are struggling to scan down the site, even with acceptable skills and scan strength, here's a trick to squeeze just a little more scan strength in. When you are stuck at 90 or even 98% scan completion and your probes are already as small as they'll go, hold down the control key and scroll with your mouse wheel. You'll notice that the probes get much closer to each other compared to the default distance of the pinpoint formation. This makes the probes closer to the signature and able to refine their scan even more to get you 100%. You can also save this formation for later use. This is important to know because even an experienced explorer like myself with 109 scan probe strength needed to use this feature to get to this and the level 5 exploration site, the superior sleeper cache. More on that at the end of the video. We've found ourselves a standard sleeper cache, and like all sleeper caches, when we arrive there will be a gate for us to hack, and when successful it will open the site for us. We get 2 attempts to successfully hack the gate, and a rift will appear to let us into the site. If we fail the first hack, the sleeper's cache will despawn in 30 seconds if we do not successfully complete our second hack on the gate in that time. By the way, for the rest of the video, I'll just be referring to this mostly as just the site from now on to save me from stuttering. If you notice that the gate has already been hacked successfully and the rift is already there when you arrive, it is recommended to see if anyone else is in local, if you see any ships on your directional scanner, and to check a site like zKillboard and look up the solar system you're in to see if someone has triggered the death clouds inside and died. It's still risky to go in if something still isn't on zKillboard, so it's up to you to risk at this point. When we enter the site, we will land in the logistics depot, one of 3 locations in the site. The other 2 locations, the tractor beam room and the back room, are also available. There's no actual walls blocking travel between these rooms, but these are referred to as separate rooms just to keep the different puzzle components together. An important note, never cloak in a sleeper cache. The site will begin to despawn and you'll miss out on the loot. That happened to me once in a superior sleeper cache and I lost all the loot just as I had arrived. So even if it doesn't happen with a standard, best operate like it does. In the logistics depot, we have 3 lootable containers, a remote defense grid, and 3 coordinate plotting devices. Go ahead and place down your mobile depot and bookmark it. We'll need the bookmark later when we're wrapping up, so be very sure to do that immediately. Now what we're going to hack first is the remote defense grid unit next to us. We want to make sure we succeed with this. If we fail any data hack, doing any one of the puzzles and not directly looting, we'll raise the alarm level. The alarm level can go up to level 5, at which point it's guaranteed that the deadly gas clouds will spawn. At lower levels, the gas cloud may or may not spawn, and it's just up to RNG. We'll talk more about what you should do when an alarm is raised and the gas cloud is imminent later in the video. When we successfully hack the remote defense grid unit, what this will do is it will move one of the turrets from the back room into an empty area of space and deactivate it. It can still shoot you if you get close, but effectively it's deactivated. And it will activate a turret near the tractor beam, which won't spawn until we get to it. Next, we want to take note of the 3 storage depots near us. We want to only hack the 2 closest to us. We'll come back to this 3rd one later and be sure to give it a wide berth for a while until we're ready to finish the site. When we successfully hack at least 1 relic container, these storage depots, the cosmic signature will disappear from the probe scanner, meaning no one else can scan down the site, and the only way they can get to you is by combat scanning your ship, combat scanning your mobile depot, or having access to the bookmark you created. This is why it was important for us to create that bookmark, because we will be warping out and warping back in. Next, we want to move on to the coordinate plotting devices. We have 3 data hacks we need to complete successfully. Because these are data hacks, they can trigger an alarm at a fail. If you fail one, a safety thing to do is to burn straight up with your micro warp drive. Wait about a minute to see if any messages indicate that the Guardian systems are coming online or something like that. If not, no deadly clouds will be spawning just yet. Once you successfully hack all 3 coordinate plotting devices, you'll notice it automatically placed a X, Y, and Z coordinate item in your cargo hold. On the structure behind the plotting devices, you'll notice containers called a low power and high power remote calibration devices. Place all of the coordinates into the high power container. There is a use case for putting these into the low power container. However, that's a completely different way of completing this site, and not something we're going to be covering in this video. After we place the coordinates in the high power container, this will create a rift shortcut to the back room. Before we take this rift, we want to change our fit around a little bit, so let's head back to the mobile depot. We're going to change our mid slots around. We're going to keep our shield extender, our multispectral shield hardener, we're going to add our EM shield hardener, and replace our micro warp drive with an afterburner. With our fit set, we're now going to go back to the rift we just spawned, and we're going to use it to go to the back room. The objective we have in the back room is to successfully hack the remote defense grid with our tank and afterburner on and orbiting the remote defense grid unit. We're going to be orbiting this while we hack it to avoid taking too much fire from the turrets. Once we successfully hack this, we need to then warp out of the site. This is to convince the turret AI to actually shut down like it's supposed to. It's very important to note we have to return to a sleeper site within 2 minutes or it will despawn. So be quick, this is for all sleeper sites. Warp back to the site using the bookmark to your mobile depot. We're going to swap our data analyzer for a relic analyzer, and we're going to enter the calibrated rift we created to take us back to the back room. Now we can safely loot the containers without being shot at. If the turret AI glitches and starts attacking you again, all we have to do is warp out and warp back in. Now, once we are finished looting the back room, we're going to need to go back to our mobile depot and get our data analyzer again for the next stage, the tractor beam. The quickest way to do this is to just warp out and warp back to the site like we did before and then change our fit. With the same fit we used to deactivate the defenses in the back room, we now want to approach the tractor beam with our afterburner on. We're going to leave our tank off for the moment just to save some capacitor. We want to approach at an angle. This is called spiraling, where we are manually flying towards something but at a 45-degree angle. This will help us when a turret spawns and starts shooting at us, making it harder to hit us. Once the turret spawns, then turn on your tank modules and continue moving towards the tractor beam at an angle until you're about 20 kilometers from the remote defense grid unit. Then orbit it and hack it. You may need to turn off your tank modules if your capacitor gets too low. That's okay since your transversal velocity, speed, and proximity to the defense unit should make it hard for the thing to hit you. After successfully hacking it, the turret will be disabled and we can hack the tractor beam. When we do this, it will start pulling storage depots out of thin air for us to hack and loot. We will need to go back to the mobile depot to grab our relic analyzer. From here on out, you don't need the EM hardener, and we can have both the relic and data analyzers equipped. Once we have our relic analyzer back, as well as our micro warp drive, we're going to go loot the remaining containers near the tractor beam. Now, on the surface, you just completed the standard sleeper cache, but there's a secret room, and it requires us to trigger the alarm that we've been avoiding. At this point, we've successfully hacked all of the data containers, so what's there left for us to do to trigger an alarm? There's actually 2 methods we can do to raise an alarm. First is to have some sort of weapon or aggressive module on hand. Then with this aggressive module, we go back to the back room and attack the Sleeper Enclave structure until an alarm is triggered and the Guardians are coming. The second method is what we're going to be doing. Remember that container we left behind at the beginning? Now we're going to hack it. Make sure to have your micro warp drive, your relic analyzer, and your data analyzer on you. You won't be able to refit after this. And approach the final container. When we successfully hack it, a new entity will spawn, the Defense Alarm Unit. Now we're on the clock. We have 60 seconds to hack this or an alarm will sound. If successful, a pristine storage depot will spawn for your trouble and no alarm will trigger. This is both good and bad. If this happens, you'll need to do the first method I talked about to forcefully trigger an alarm by attacking the Sleeper Enclave. On a failed hack, or if it's taking too long, abandon the hack and immediately turn on your micro warp drive and burn straight up. After some time, Guardian engineering stations will appear in each of the rooms we've been to and start emitting a damaging gas cloud. And the cloud will expand several times, so put a lot of distance between you and the clouds. Once the clouds are fully expanded, a problem will happen with the middle one and it will explode. This will remove the damaging cloud and the engineering station, and the explosion will cause a rift to spawn to the secret room. Carefully maneuver yourself above the site and then move down towards the rift. Avoid where the turret from earlier got moved to when we made our first hacks. It's still aggressive, just out of range of you. Once you take the rift and go inside, take a moment to collect yourself for some safe but difficult hacking. There will be a beacon next to you. Approach it and wait near it until another remote defense grid unit spawns. There's no penalty for failing to hack this, and on a successful hack, 4 depots will spawn around you and you have 3 minutes to hack all the containers before they self-destruct and you lose out on the loot. Something else spawned with these containers, a self-destruct reset unit. This is a one-time reset for the self-destruct timer. We're going to be using this, so we'll come back to this. Immediately burn and hack 2 of the containers. There's no penalty for failure, but it will take time from you, so be fast, but be effective. Next, we're going to hack the self-destruct reset unit to reset the self-destruct timer. If you fail hacking the self-destruct timer, the timer is set to 60 seconds and you must successfully hack it on your next attempt, otherwise you will not have enough time to hack it again and the loot will blow up. On a successful hack, the self-destruct timer is reset and you can now hack the remaining 2 containers. After the 3 minutes have elapsed, all containers explode with no damage, I forgot to mention. And you have now completed the standard sleeper cache. All you need to do now is to go get your mobile depot, which is currently waist deep into a deadly gas cloud. So the safest thing for us to do is to warp off the site, cloak, and then wait 5 minutes. During that time, the site should despawn and we can warp directly to our mobile depot, which will still be in the spot we placed it. Here's the loot we gathered on screen, and this is about average for the site. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, but this is about average. In our next video, we're going to be covering the Superior Sleeper Cache, where this same Buzzard we used for this site can be used as well, and it can handle all of the rooms except for the archive room. But we'll get to that next time. YouTube thinks you would like this video here on screen. Were they right? Give it a watch and find out. Consider liking, subscribing, and using my creator codes to show your support for the channel. Thank you to my amazing YouTube and Patreon members, and welcome to our newest members. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.